have breaking updates. Breaking updates. Very important. There's a reason why the public has shifted from being a little skeptical of Justin Baldoni to basically just rooting outright for Justin Baldoni at this point. If you can't avoid this movie, you absolutely should, because it's absolute trash. I know some people like this movie. Some people are stupid. Oops!
Hollywood scandals are nothing new, but when Ben Shapiro steps into the ring, you know things are about to get explosive. The Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni feud isn't just another celebrity spat. It's a full-blown legal war, and Shapiro has been at the forefront, exposing the truth behind the headlines. But what exactly did he reveal? And why is the public suddenly siding with Justin Baldoni? Let's break it down.
But for people who see this movie, who relate to the topics of this movie on a deeply personal level, they're really going to want to talk to you. This movie is going to affect people, and they're going to want to tell you about their lives. So if someone understands the themes of this movie, comes across you in public, and they want to really talk to you, what's the best way for them to be able to talk to you about this? How would you recommend they go about it?
Like asking for like my address or my phone number or like my location share. Or I could just location share you, and then we could...
It all started with It Ends With Us, a movie about domestic violence that was supposed to be a career-defining project for both Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. But behind the scenes, things were far from perfect. Baldoni, the director and co-star, had a vision for the film. Lively, the lead actress, had her own ideas. And when those visions clashed, the set turned into a battlefield.
And then she did exactly that to Justin Baldoni, apparently.
I mean, I internalized that as opportunity. We had such a responsibility to this audience to deliver something and to have the opportunity to deliver something for a passionate group of people.
Yes.
As someone who's so deeply passionate myself, I was so excited about that. I would so much rather have that than people who are indifferent.
What began as creative differences quickly escalated. Lively, backed by her husband Ryan Reynolds and close friend Taylor Swift, allegedly pushed for changes to the script and even demanded final cuts. Baldoni, who had poured his heart into the project, found himself sidelined. But that was just the beginning.
Talking about how dare Justin Baldoni defend himself with the PR campaign. The New York Times says, quote, she claimed Baldoni had improvised unwanted kissing and discussed his life, including encounters in which he said he may not have received consent. Mr. Heath, the producer Jamie Heath, had shown her a video of his wife naked, she said, and he had watched Miss Lively in her trailer when she was topless and having body makeup removed, despite her asking him to look away. She said both men repeatedly entered her makeup trailer uninvited while she was undressed, including when she was breastfeeding. And then the hit piece had a bunch of text messages and emails between Baldoni and his PR team.
Enter Ben Shapiro. Known for his no-nonsense commentary, Shapiro didn't hold back when discussing the scandal. On his show, he called out Lively and Reynolds for their alleged bullying tactics, labeling the situation as a classic case of Hollywood elites using their power to crush the little guy. Shapiro didn't just stop at the surface-level drama. He dug deeper, exposing the leaked texts and emails that Baldoni's legal team had released. These documents painted a very different picture from Lively's claims. One text showed Lively inviting Baldoni into her trailer while she was breastfeeding, directly contradicting her claims of intrusion. Another revealed that the so-called nude photo she accused Baldoni's team of showing her was actually a non-explicit birth photo shared in the context of a scene.
They took control of the script. Blake personally, with Ryan's help, rewrote scenes, again, not within the purview of an actress. And then after that, they have text messages in which Blake tells Justin, this is in the latest lawsuit, you know, I know you've never watched Game of Thrones, but when you get around to watching it, you'll realize I'm Khaleesi and these are my dragons. And I have the best dragons in the business.
Shapiro didn't mince words when discussing the power dynamics at play. According to him, this wasn't just about creative differences, it was about control. Lively and Reynolds, with their Hollywood clout, allegedly pressured Baldoni into making changes to the film. They rewrote scenes, demanded final approval on edits, and even brought in Taylor Swift for script input.
Okay, Ryan, we're starting to see you for who you are. What happened? They said Ryan Reynolds comes to set. This is the backstory. Reviews the dailies, reviews the script, and then he goes into his trailer. Don't gag order or sue me, Ryan Reynolds. I don't want to be involved in melodrama. I'm just telling my audience what I was told. He goes into Blake Lively's trailer and they have an argument. All of the production assistants overheard the argument, but we can assume it had something to do with what he saw in these dailies, what he read in the script. Who even knows? From that day forward, he started involving himself, that he basically became a chaperone for her on set. He was there every day, involved in the projects, wanting to rewrite lines, and suddenly Ryan Reynolds was trying to wrangle this project from Justin Baldoni.
But Shapiro didn't stop there. He also highlighted the Deadpool connection. Baldoni's legal team claims the character, Nice Pool, in Reynolds' latest movie is a direct parody of Baldoni, mocking his persona and the allegations against him. Shapiro called this move petty and unprofessional, further fueling the public's sympathy for Baldoni.
Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift.
And I have to say that the blowback to Ryan Reynolds, I think, is going to be pretty severe because his whole image is this cool guy who's very easy to get along with, friends with everybody, jokey. But if it turns out that he's standing sort of in the wings and the shadows, ready to go after anybody who crosses Blake Lively's bizarre machinations, that's not a great look for him.
At first, the public was divided. Lively's allegations were serious, and many were quick to believe her. But as Shapiro and Baldoni's evidence began to surface, the tide turned. People started to see Baldoni as the underdog, a director fighting against Hollywood's elite. Shapiro's commentary played a huge role in shaping public opinion. His no-nonsense approach and clear breakdown of the facts made people question Lively's motives.
And the allegations, just the way the Times reported them, seemed pretty bad. It was like, oh, he's showing her, one of the producers is showing her naked pictures of his wife. He's talking about, they walked in on her while she was breastfeeding, even though she'd said not to. But it turns out that on like any level of examination, a huge percentage of this seems to fall apart.
Was this really about harassment, or was it about control? And why did Reynolds and Swift get involved? The more details emerged, the more it seemed like Baldoni was the victim of a coordinated attack.
Just the possibility of Taylor Swift being deposed is very powerful. And actually, earlier this week in the pretrial hearing, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' lawyer requested that the judge place a gag order on Baldoni's attorney. The judge denied that, but reminded all parties to engage by the rules of professional conduct in New York, meaning you cannot say anything in the media that could potentially taint a jury.
The lawsuits are far from over. Baldoni is suing Lively, Reynolds, and their PR team for $400 million, claiming defamation, extortion, and interference with his career. Lively, meanwhile, is countersuing for harassment and retaliation. The legal battle is set to go to trial in March 2026, but the court of public opinion has already made its verdict. Shapiro has been vocal about the legal strategies at play. He praised Baldoni's legal team for their transparency campaign, which included launching a website detailing their side of the story with timelines, text messages, and emails. According to Shapiro, this move was a game changer, turning the tide in Baldoni's favor.
Since I've been involved in this case, I've gotten 50 either texts or emails or things to my firm's website, more than 50 actually, about this was my experience with Blake Lively. Knew that she was threatening and mean and tough and wanted to get her way. This is not something that we wanted out there. It's not something that Justin wanted out there. In fact, it hurts the movie. It doesn't help the movie.
The fallout from this scandal is massive. Baldoni claims he's lost hundreds of millions of dollars in potential projects, including a big-budget adaptation of Pac-Man. Lively, on the other hand, is facing backlash for her alleged diva behavior and manipulation on set. And then there's Ryan Reynolds. Known for his charming, easygoing persona, Reynolds is now being painted as a behind-the-scenes bully who used his power to intimidate Baldoni. The Nice Pool parody in Deadpool hasn't helped his case either.
He went to it was either his trainer or her trainer or the trainer on the set, and he asked how much Blake weighs. And that it was like, how dare he, right? How dare.
Shapiro didn't just focus on the scandal itself. He also highlighted the bigger picture. This isn't just about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. It's about power in Hollywood. It's about who gets to call the shots and what happens when someone dares to push back. According to Shapiro, Baldoni's fight is resonating with people because it's a classic David versus Goliath story. He's the little guy standing up to Hollywood's elite, and the public loves an underdog. But it's also a cautionary tale. In an industry where reputation is everything, one wrong move can destroy a career. So, what happens next? Will Baldoni win his lawsuit and clear his name? Will Lively and Reynolds face consequences for their alleged actions? And what does this mean for the future of Hollywood? One thing's for sure, this scandal is far from over. Stay tuned, because the drama is just getting started.